area of a circle. So for our area of a circle, we have our formula here. And the uppercase A stands for the area, and they put a little subscript of the letter C. So it's just telling us that this is the area of a circle, because there's so many different types of area, right? Is equal to, this is a symbol that stands for pi, which is a very long number. I can show you in our calculator here if I were to hit, do I get pi in here? Oh yeah, constants. Oh, it's somewhere in here. Do you see letter pi? I should have prepped this a little earlier. There it is. There's our really long number for pi. Okay, so pi is equal to, if we hit equals, this very, very long number. So that's what that symbol stands for. And r is the radius of a circle. Okay, so we have the radius of this circle here. And we have to square it. Have you done exponents before?
No.
Oh, okay, so quickly talk about what that means. When r is squared, or any number squared, what that means is we take the base and you multiply it by itself. Okay, however many times the exponent there is. So if it was to the power of 5, and it was the number 3, then we'd go 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. We would do it 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So because this is to the power of 2, whatever the radius is, we do the radius times the radius. Okay? So we're going to use the information in this circle to figure out what the area is. And the area is how much space this circle essentially takes up. So we have area of the circle is equal to pi times, what was the radius of this circle?
2 centimeters.
That's right. So we're going to replace r with the number 2, okay? And then it's going to be squared. So let's do everything we can do without a calculator to start. 2 squared. 2 squared means 2 times 2. So what will 2 times 2 equal?
4.
Good. So we have pi times 4. Now I don't expect you to calculate that on your own. So we'll take out our little calculator here. And here's pi, our 3.141592654, and it keeps going and going and going. So I'm going to use that number, and I'm going to multiply it by the number 4.
How long does it go?
Forever.
Oh.
Doesn't stop. So this is us rounding it, okay? So we did it times 4, and we got 12 point, and we're going to round to the first decimal place. So it's 12.56. The 6 makes us round up, so we'll say 12.6. So the area of this circle is 12.6 centimeters, and because it's area, we have to use a little exponent here. Do you know what we use? You're using area? You know, squared for area? Yeah. And the reason they say squared is because it's 2-dimensional. And what they mean by 2-dimensional is like this. There's 2 planes. We have a height, that's 1 dimension, and a length, that's 2. So that's 1, 2 dimensions. And if you're doing volume, you know when you put it to cube, that's because there's 3 dimensions. There's a height, a width, and a depth. So we got 1, 2, 3 dimensions, okay? It's just a little note about squared. So we found the area. The area of this circle is 12.6 centimeters squared. So that's all of that. But let's say, in a question, they gave us the area and they want us to find the radius. This is a much harder task. Okay? So what we're going to do is we have our area. We're going to replace the A in our formula with this number, our 38.5. And I've used a little approximate. It's approximately 38.5, the area. Okay? So we're going to replace this with 38.5 is equal to pi, which is that symbol for that long number again, times r squared. Well, we don't know what r is, so the whole point of this is to isolate for what r is going to be. Okay, so this pi here, this symbol, stands for a really long number. And I don't want to write it in because it's going to take me like that much space to write the number in. So I'm just going to use this symbol to represent it. So we're going to isolate variables. And because this is multiplication, I need to move the pi to the other side. I'll fix it. Okay. And in order to fix it, we use the opposite of multiplication. We have to use division. Okay. So when we bring it over, we'll have 38.5 divided by pi. Okay, so we bring the pi over, is equal to r squared. Okay, so let's do that first, whatever that is. So let's get our 38.5. Luckily, we still have pi saved in our calculator. 38.5 divided by, this is the number for pi, okay, is equal to, that's going to be a really long decimal. Again, let's let's round it. Let's round it to 2 decimal places, okay? So if we're rounding to 2 decimal places, we go to the third number. 4 makes us round down, so we have 12.25. So we have 12.25 is equal to r squared. Now, the very last thing, I still need to get r by itself. So this squared, this is what's difficult, especially because you've never seen power before. In order to move a square to the other side, we have to do something called a square root. Have you guys talked about square roots?
I think so.
It's 2 numbers that multiply to equal to this. So luckily on our calculator we have it. We can just hit this button. This stands for the square root of, and we just plug in our old answer. Okay, so we're looking for the square root of our 12.25. It is equal to 3, if you round it to 1 decimal place, it's about 3.5. Okay, so our number here, r, the radius, is equal to 3.5. And it's centimeters. So let's see if that's right. It looks like the middle of the circle is about here. And have we done this one? 2.5 in this one. Oh, I didn't draw it to scale, but that's fine. That kind of all works out there.